I want to get to another Fox News alert now. A new report raising the possibility that Israel is preparing to attack Iran and to carry out that attack within months. This now from the Washington Post, quoting Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta, who believes there's a strong likelihood, it writes, that Israel will strike Iran in April, May, or June before Iran enters what Israelis described as a zone of immunity to commence building a nuclear bomb, end quote. Leland Vittert on this out of Jerusalem. What are the Israelis saying about what Panetta says?
Officially nothing, Bill, but last night the Israeli defense minister gave a very ominous warning. He said that often when you wait to the last minute, you have waited too long. And the Israelis have made it clear that they will not allow Iran to get the bomb at any cost. The Iranians aren't shying away from a war of words either. Today, the Ayatollah went on television. He said Israel was a cancer that needed to be cut out from the world, and his adoring crowd chanted back, "Death to Israel." And Israel is a little bit more limited than the United States is when it comes to being able to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. And the thought is that they would have to do it in the next couple of months. And the Secretary of Defense's comments may have been about the weather. Sources here tell us the best time for an Israeli attack would be sometime between March and June. That's when the weather patterns are most optimal. And by the time the next cycle would roll around, when the weather would be acceptable for an Israeli attack, by then, Bill, it might be too late.
And what are the risks of Iranian retaliation? How does that scenario play out, do you believe?
Great question. There's significant risks to Israel. You could have anything from a mini war where Iran would order Hezbollah and Lebanon and then Hamas and Islamic Jihad down in Gaza to launch rockets into Israel. You could also have Iranian ballistic missiles flying into Israel. And today, Iran put up some video of launching a satellite. It'd be very easy in 18 months to put a nuclear bomb on the tip of that very same kind of missile. Bill, back to you.
Leland Vittert's in Jerusalem. We will talk with the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee about all this. New York Congressman Peter King is live here in America's Newsroom. We will bring him on in just a matter of minutes. Stay tuned on that.
And now back to this very hot story right now. The head of the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation is defending the charity's decision to cut funding to Planned Parenthood. The charity denies that it made that decision based on politics, but many politicians are weighing in. Here's what Nancy Pelosi had to say about it.
I feel very sad. I feel very sad about it. I know the Susan G. Komen Foundation to be a very effective organization, very professionally run, and for a good purpose. I think their collaboration with Planned Parenthood, if that's the word, but whatever the connection was one that benefited women's health. And I feel sad that this decision on their part is to the detriment of women's health. But obviously, women are responding, and the Planned Parenthood is getting a tremendous show of support.
Peter Ducey's on this story for us live in Washington. So, Peter, what does the Komen Foundation say about this today?
Martha, the CEO says that they did not cut off funding because Planned Parenthood provides abortions. It's because instead, Planned Parenthood doesn't own enough of their own equipment, so they outsource a lot of screenings like mammograms, and the Susan G. Komen Foundation wants to be able to directly fund clinics, not hand out what their founder and CEO Nancy Brinker calls pass-through grants.
At the end of the day, we have to treat patients cost effectively, but we have to make sure they have access and follow up to care. And we can only do that if we are watching and funding where they're being screened, where they're being followed up, where they're being treated.
And the foundation tweeted yesterday that there will be no gaps in service to women as a result of their new funding criteria, and that, in fact, the updated model will enable us to better serve women in their communities by providing direct services with greater impact. And the CEO also made clear that their only mission is to design treatments and cures for breast cancer.
That was Nancy Brinker. She is Susan Komen's sister. She lost her sister, Susan Komen, to breast cancer many years ago. And, Peter, there are dozens of senators who are disagreeing with the statement that she put out there.
You're right, and 25 Democratic and 1 independent senator actually wrote a letter to Nancy Brinker, the CEO of the Susan G. Komen Foundation, that pointed out 20% of all women in the U.S. have visited a Planned Parenthood health center, and